What's up, everybody? My name's Trey with Diji Dive Agency. This is the podcast in which we just show you what it looks like to actually build a legit digital marketing agency with your friends, making everybody money, making us money, making our clients money, and just having a good time actually doing it. If you don't know, Diji Dive Agency is a full-service digital marketing agency that builds individuals, small businesses, and corporations real passive income. Not that fake stuff you see on YouTube all the time. We're talking about actual passive income to send your kids to college, get the dream car that you want, retire your spouse. We were talking about real passive income. If you don't know, this is Christian. He's running our Amazon FBA side. Percy is actually out today. He's sick, so doesn't have a voice. We were like, well, doesn't make sense to have you on a podcast if you have to speak if you don't have a voice. Now, thing we're actually going over today is just kind of the structure of the agency, going over how we are growing, how we're bringing on more clients, and just the overall structure of what it looks like so we can better manage our clients. And one thing specifically that we're going over, Christian and I right now, is just the onboarding process of clients. If you want, Christian, kind of just reiterate what we were talking about and how you think it should be broken down, and then we'll just kind of talk through it.
Yeah, for the onboarding process, just the process of bringing people on within the agency, just sort of, laying out what we think the process should look like, what the steps should look like. When it comes time to opening the agency, there are a lot of parts and a lot of moving pieces. There's also a lot of steps, a lot of waiting in between this, and a lot of waiting between these steps. Right. So when it comes time for the onboarding process, I think the best way will be, to first have that initial onboarding call where, we get together, we get connected, and we just lay out what the full growth process plan is, just sharing what the full details are.
So before you go into that, actually, let's back up a little bit. So what we talked about right before the actual podcast kind of started is we are just now starting outreach when it comes to actually getting clients. How we were getting clients initially was just kind of reaching out to our friends and family, just letting them know that we're running e-commerce stores, we're running Amazon stores, we're running YouTube automation channels, and just kind of asking if they want to essentially be our first clients at no upfront cost. And we can just kind of run their stores, get case studies, and make them passive income. And now we're at the place where we kind of feel that we are definitely good enough to where we can charge upfront and charge a decent amount of money upfront. And now it's just how do we drive in clients instead of just asking friends and family, because eventually we run out of people that we know to ask, hey, do you want us to run your store, make you passive income, and that type of things. So now we are trying to implement a cold outreach system, whether it be Instagram DMs, TikTok DMs, LinkedIn DMs, and then cold email marketing to drive in leads and potential clients for the agency. So how we've kind of split it up is each social media platform that we run. So like I'm primarily in charge of growing the YouTube channel. So I'm going to be in charge of reaching out to people on YouTube specifically to try to bring them on as clients for the agency. Christian runs LinkedIn, so he's going to be specifically charged of growing that. Percy's running Instagram and TikTok, so he's going to be in charge of growing those. And we thought it made sense to kind of break them up because the language that you use on LinkedIn is very different than what you use on Instagram or on TikTok or on YouTube when it comes to email marketing, just because LinkedIn's a more professional platform. TikTok, you have to be much shorter with your DMs or people just don't open them and don't read them. Because, we're already split up, we're already on those platforms, we kind of already know how they work. We just thought it made more sense to do that. So once we drive in actual leads, Percy's been in charge of the sales process. So once we get a lead, we're going to send them over to Percy, put them on his calendar so that he can actually reach out to the potential prospect, make sure that they understand exactly what the agency does, make sure that they understand that this is essentially completely hands off. What platforms are we on? What cost we actually charge for it. And then after that goes to the actual onboarding process. So if you want to go ahead and break that down, but I just want to make sure everybody kind of understood what the actual structure looked like. Sending out DMs, getting actual leads, sending them to our salesperson. And then once they're sold on not only the agency, but also paying the upfront cost, now they're in kind of our ecosystem and we start the onboarding process.
I know within the onboarding process, the first, conversation is really just laying out the full growth plan for your store, just pointing out what all the steps will be. And then once we're pointing out all the steps that we're need to take, beginning the initial step of hooking you up with the LLC guy, beginning the steps of, creating your LLC, your brand, And from there, the next call would be about 2 weeks later or so, where we're going to start working on building the business credit, applying for, your first business credit card. And during that conversation, we're also going to talk about some of the additional licensing we're going to need in addition to our LLC, such as your wholesale license. And then we're going to have another call later we're also going to have, a call with setting up our actual Amazon stores. Once we have our LLC and our business information, just preparing for that Amazon interview. So before we even get to your full Amazon store setup, we're going to have about a month process with 2 to 3-ish calls. But just getting you prepared to have your store opened up before we're able to take full control. Once you have the store set up, it does become passive. But while we are working to get the store set up, there's a bit of work that's involved with it. There's work with creating your business, building your business credit card or your business credit, as well as just setting up the official store you're going to be using to make your income.
Right. One thing that is going to be kind of nice, especially for clients that we bring on, we are actually the ones that are guiding the clients through all of it. We can't legally do that for clients. Obviously we can't take the client's name, address, and their social and set up LLCs for them. So we basically will be on Zoom. It'll be a step-by-step process of how to set up the LLC, which business credit cards to apply to. So we do walk them through the entire process, but it does take a little bit on the front end. Now, we're not an agency that says that we only take on 2 clients a month and then we really just let everybody go in like it's a scarcity marketing technique or anything like that, as we really only take on 2 clients every month just because we want to make sure that we can actually get those clients results. And I just don't feel that we're at the scale that we would need to be to take on any more clients than that, as there is a lot of front work that needs to be done when it comes to setting up the stores and everything like that. So what I'm kind of thinking is, because it takes a little bit of time for the stores to be set up, the business credit cards and the LLCs to be set up and everything like that, we could essentially start the process of onboarding 4, 5, 6 clients at one time, knowing that it might be a month process for them to actually get their stores open and going. And then we might also see that some clients might move a little bit slower when it comes to opening up their LLCs and getting their business credit cards. So I think we only will be opening up 2 actual Amazon stores per month for clients, but we might have 3, 4, maybe even 5 clients in the onboarding process, but we'll only be running 2 stores and taking on 2 brand new stores at the same time. And that's simply because once you get the store actually up and we have full control over it, it's easy for us to manage it, but it's the initial opening the store and getting the first initial sales. That's the hardest part. And we just want to make sure we're not taking on too many clients and we're basically just running ourselves into the ground and we just don't have the infrastructure set up to be able to do so. But I think that's what we're going to do. So we might onboard more than 2 clients, but only actually actively be opening and running 2 brand new accounts every month, as well as the old accounts that we already have.
Makes sense.
And then we're also looking at hiring new employees. And that's kind of what we were talking about too. As the employees that we have now, they are good in terms of they do get work done. They seem to be okay at what they do, but we don't feel like we'll be able to use them at scale. I was able to train them a couple months ago. Now, I've never posted a video on the agency's channel, but I've been doing drop shipping on Amazon for a year or so, and we've been able to do $10,000 to $12,000 a month in revenue drop shipping. Now, I did get away from drop shipping as it is against the terms and policies on Amazon, so we wanted to go into Amazon FBA. However, because I had some success drop shipping and I had some employees that were on those stores helping me run them kind of at scale, I reached out to them and was like, hey, I want to get you trained on the Amazon FBA, as we don't want to do drop shipping anymore because it's against terms of service, but we want to, get you trained up and get you ready for an Amazon FBA side. And that's kind of what we're looking at now. So bringing on employees that have more success in running larger stores when it comes to revenue numbers and just kind of transitioning them over to Amazon FBA. So just kind of have to get them trained up on that aspect, making sure that obviously we're not drop shipping, we're not breaking any terms of service or anything like that. But we do want to make sure that these VAs are able to handle stores at scale, because the VAs that we have now, they just haven't handled stores that really do any more than like $5,000 to $8,000 a month in revenue. And yeah, that's nice if this was just like a side hustle, but for an actual agency that's doing this for like paying clients, we want to make sure that we're getting the best results humanly possible. And that's why we think we're going to need different employees that we can kind of train up and get them to the numbers that we actually want to hit. But what are your thoughts on kind of that?
No, I think what we definitely need to do is, what I like about the new VAs is they just have more experience. They have more experience with larger accounts. They have more experience with helping stores grow.
Right.
The old VAs also had, they just had some different requirements. So I do like the direction moving in with the new VAs. So I'm really excited for what the future holds and for how we're going to be able to help grow and scale these new stores with just the experience that they're able to bring.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really nice, especially for clients who are, if you are new, kind of coming on. We've always had like an onboarding process that we've done with clients, but now we're kind of just getting it more, layered and more on paper of what exactly it looks like and what the time frame actually looks like for new clients as they come on, just to make sure their stores are set up for success. So it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really interesting. So if you are interested in making a passive income with the agency, there is a Calendly link down in the description below. That'll take you to a sales call with Percy, who will actually make sure that you understand, what exactly we do. What is e-commerce, what is Amazon FBA. Just make sure you are a good fit for the agency. Now, this isn't something that you can start for no money. Like, this isn't something that you can just sign up with and make money tomorrow, as this is a legit business. As you've heard us, that you do have to set up an LLC, you do have to get business funding, you have to do a number of things to kind of set up your Amazon FBA journey. But if you are somebody that has maybe some liquid capital, or you do have a business already, even if it's completely unrelated to Amazon FBA or e-commerce, like let's say, for instance, you're a plumber and you're like, hey, I love being a plumber, but I wouldn't mind making an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month in profit, completely passive. That's where we kind of come in, where you can continue to do your full-time job, and we'll basically just make you passive income through the e-commerce platforms that we are running for other clients. So that's kind of what it looks like. But if you are interested, make sure you hit that link. You can have a call with Percy, see if we're a good fit to work with you, see if you're a good fit to work with us. As you see, there are some stipulations that you actually have to meet in order to do it. But if you are somebody looking for passive income, we can definitely help you out. Now, with Percy, since he isn't in here because he lost his voice, one thing that we started back is YouTube automation. Percy's kind of also heading the YouTube automation as well as sales, because we've kind of noticed that sales really don't take Percy all that much time. Sales calls are anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, and he's only doing a handful a week. So Percy kind of just had a lot of extra time, and he was just kind of interested in YouTube automation. So we're getting YouTube automation back up and going. We do have a couple channels that are already monetized. He's essentially just going to be in charge of running those already monetized channels to see if we can grow them and see if that's just another avenue that we can kind of take the agency in. So when clients come on, not only will we be running their Amazon FBA stores, but we'll also be running possibly YouTube automation channels, and then eventually going into other e-commerce platforms like Macari, like eBay, like Walmart. So we are on some different platforms, but what we do first is we want to make sure that we can make money on the platform first for at least an extended period of time, whether that be 6 months to a year, before we actually let clients on those platforms, because we're the ones that are actually running the clients' accounts. So we want to make sure we have a good understanding of those platforms, make sure we're profitable, we understand what's going on before we actually are running those for other people. But we think that's going to be really interesting, as it's completely different than e-commerce and YouTube automation, that is, in the sense that you can post a video one time on YouTube and it can get views literally forever, as compared to e-commerce, you only get paid when you sell products. So we just think it could be a cool little additional income stream to add on, not only for the agency, but also for clients when they come on. So we'll kind of keep you updated on that process. And since the channels are already monetized, it will be a little bit different in terms of, we won't show you how to grow a channel and like from scratch or anything, as we already have them monetized. So we'll just kind of keep you updated on the process and how it's actually growing. So we think that should be a lot of fun, and we're super excited for that. I'm personally working not only on reaching out to bring on leads and bring on clients for the agency. I'm also running the Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Shops, lead generation, and I'm helping Percy with YouTube automation because I've been doing it for a while. It looks like Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops, I'm not going to say that they're dead, but they're steadily declining. It seems like month over month sales are decreasing. I think the reason is because it seems to be getting a little bit more saturated. I think a lot of people have been making a lot of videos on social media about how easy it is to dropship on Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops, which it is. It's super easy. It literally requires you no money, and you can make $100 to $1,000 a month in profit just drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops. But it seems like every month that number just gets lower and lower. So like I had accounts that were doing $20,000 to $25,000 a month on my shops that now are doing, like, on really good months, maybe $2,000 a month. So dropping from 20 plus to 2,000 is a huge decrease. And that's kind of why we're focusing more of our efforts on Amazon and then also on YouTube automation and lead generation, just because the decline in Facebook has been immense. As I'm sure, Christian, you can kind of talk about it. You've seen your story. You're making a lot less sales than you were initially, but you can kind of talk about that if you want.
No, it's definitely been really kind of annoying. Where we went through, see, a couple $100 being added every day. So it being trickled down to from a couple hundred to like $75 days, a couple of random $50 days. So it's just definitely a large decrease in the overall volume of what my stores have been looking like for Facebook. But because of that, that's why we are always looking for just alternative routes to make money on e-commerce sales. One of my favorite sayings is there's a million ways to make $1 million. And when we're finding one way to shut down, it's just time to pivot and find a new avenue to make your $1 million.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's definitely declined. Now, if you're somebody that's like brand new to e-commerce, you're brand new to making money online, I still think Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Shops is the easiest way to do that. Like, it's just really easy to make some money on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Shops. They are just no longer just my opinion. Now, you might watch a video from somebody else and they tell you something completely different. This is just what we've been seeing on the accounts that we run. This is no longer a platform where, like, you can retire on. Like, you no longer make six figures on Facebook Marketplace. It just doesn't seem like it's possible anymore. Now, I'm sure if you spend a lot of money on ads and you're doing things like that, like actually paid promotion for your products, maybe, but organic traffic is just not there anymore, it seems. Not only that, but it seems to be a lot of issues with Facebook Marketplace, specifically when it comes to payment issues, when it comes to locking up your account, when it comes to like having to put in and re-verify yourself multiple times a week. So we're just trying to get away from Facebook Marketplace. Now, the accounts that we already have on it, we will continue to run, and then we will be slowly transitioning them over to Amazon and then hopefully to Walmart in the future. But as a new client coming on, unless like you just don't have a lot of startup capital, or your business doesn't get funded for a lot, we're just not really recommending Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops anymore, just because the income isn't really there. We are moving pretty much everything over to Amazon, YouTube automation, Walmart, and then lead generation. But we are still running accounts. We do still have clients that come on and ask specifically to have Facebook Marketplaces ran for them. So we're definitely not going to turn those people away if they understand that just a little different than what it was. Like I said, you make less money. It's still kind of the same amount of work as it's always been, which is you have to post products literally all day to get sales. You're just making less money to be able to do so. So if you are somebody that's coming on, you're like, hey, I just want a Facebook Marketplace because it's a little bit lower risk. It's a lot less startup capital, even though it makes less money. Like, we still have people come on that ask specifically to be on that platform. So we can still run those accounts. It's just as an agency, and when it comes to really scaling for our clients and making them the much money as humanly possible in the most efficient and safe way, we just don't think that's through Facebook Marketplace or Facebook Shops anymore. But we'll kind of keep you updated. I'll be coming out with more videos as we get more updates on the platform and things like that too. So just make sure you stay tuned to that. But we'll keep you updated as we go. Now I'm also working on lead generation. Now I've kind of been spending too much time on other things. I haven't had a lot of time to really sit down on lead generation specifically and kind of figure out the ins and outs of running Google ads, contacting service professionals to get them to buy the leads and things of that nature. I do have a call with a lead generation coach on, or I guess for like 5 days from the making of this video. So hopefully that gives me a little bit more insight. And as we kind of get Percy trained up on YouTube automation specifically, I'm hoping that I can pull back a little bit from that, pull back a little bit from Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops, as we're going to be running them a little bit less, and then focusing pretty much all my effort on lead generation. We think it's very, very profitable and very valuable for service professionals in the sense that everybody needs leads, everybody needs sales to grow their business. And we think it's just going to help out a lot of smaller businesses really grow and scale. I just kind of have to figure that out first. And I just don't think I'm dedicating enough time to it, as I'm still running not only our YouTube channel, I run my personal channel. I have a reaction channel, a fitness channel, and 6 other YouTube automation channels. So I'm probably just doing too many things at one time, to be honest with you. And I just need to focus on one thing. But I'll kind of keep you updated on lead generation specifically. Hopefully this call kind of sets it up and I can get more dialed in and get focused on that. But we are super excited to get our first paying client through lead gen, and then hopefully bring that on as a service for anybody that's looking to, grow their business, maybe not through e-commerce, but maybe their actual. So if you're a plumber and you come to us and say, hey, I know you make people passive income through Amazon, but I'm also trying to grow my plumbing business, I need more leads, we'll also be able to help them out that way. Our process, or our thought process when it comes to this agency specifically, is just growing businesses for individuals or small businesses or corporation in multiple ways, so they're not reliant on one stream of income. So if you are a plumber that comes in, or you're an electrician, or you're a car detailer, we can make you money through e-commerce, which is completely separate from your actual business. We can make you money through YouTube automation, which is separate than e-commerce. But then we can also help grow your actual business, which you actually enjoy, because we kind of thought the more money that we make clients, the more happier they'll be with us, and the more likely they are to refer us to other clients. So if we can make them money 2, 3, 4 different ways, and we're actually growing their full-time business, and hopefully be able to allow them to step away and do things that they actually enjoy, not only will they be very happy, but we'll get referred to more business owners that want us to help grow their businesses as well. So that's kind of our plan kind of moving forward. That's kind of the more the long-term kind of view of the agency. Obviously we kind of haven't got to that. We haven't really had a lot of people come in that already have businesses that we're running. More or less the people that come to us, working 9 to 5, and they just want to make some passive income, or they want to get out of their jobs. But we're kind of trying to transition to that kind of market where we can really be basically partners with businesses, so we can help them grow and help them make money in other ways, which I think will be really cool. But Christian, I think this is kind of the first time you kind of heard of that, kind of the long term. But how do you think that actually, goes to what you were thinking the agency would do?
Man, honestly, it falls in line with just I love it. Just being able to reach out, helping other people make money. I feel like when you're able to just help people grow their businesses, and when you just have genuine intention of helping other people grow, your business will grow in addition to their businesses, and it's going to grow with their businesses. And it's something I love, and I'm looking forward to just being able to help other people with watching their business grow and increasing their overall incomes passively, as well as just through potential leads.
Cool. And then another thing that we were looking at was there's a ton of different AI tools that are going on. So Christian and I, we are consistently sending each other new AI tools that we see on Instagram or on TikTok, just to kind of see how we can kind of fit them into the agency, to see if we can outsource anything to make us more efficient or make us more productive. One thing that we did find was it's like the deep fake, where you can essentially clone yourself in an AI that'll make videos and make content for you, which we thought would be kind of cool. I know you said it was kind of expensive, but can you kind of go over just what you found? Maybe not what the software is, but just kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah, so the software, what it is supposed to do is using AI to take your likeness and creating videos automatically through it. So what you're able to do is you're able to take a video script, upload it into this platform. It's going to take a photo of you, and then it's supposed to, and then you find a voice that matches the photo or a voice that you're looking to use as the voice for the picture. And it will use AI to have your pictures speak out the full script, making it almost look like you're talking, recording a video. Uh, it's what I like about it is the fact that they have a lot of different voice options, from narrative voices, professional voices, even casual sounding voices like ours right now, for just having a casual conversation. What I did not like about it was just sort of the lack of quality. Why I wouldn't want to use this product specifically, was just sort of the lack of quality. I feel like I've seen almost almost holiday cards in the past where you might see the Santa singing, where they take your face, put it on the elf's body, just dancing and jingling around. It kind of gave off that type of vibe to me, where your mouth is moving inorganically to the words being said. It's just a picture where the picture I used was just a picture of me frozen like this.
And it just moves the mouth.
Frozen like this for a minute, 2 minutes, with my mouth just gabbing away. So it's really fun technology to look at. Who knows where it's going to go in the future? But for right now, this platform specifically just wasn't one I would want to move forward with.
All right, yeah. It seems like there are new AI like there it seems like there's tens to hundreds of them that come out every single day. And I think that's because people are using AI to create new AI. And because you can automate the process, I mean, by a click of a button, you can come out with an entire app in an hour. You can come out with a website in a couple minutes. You can come out with a Chrome extension in an hour, because you're using AI to make AI. Like, the process to actually do it is greatly reduced. Like, people used to spend months making a WordPress website because you had to code it, and now you can click a button and AI makes a website in a couple, like 10 minutes. So it's definitely interesting to see how it advances. And we'll probably be playing with a couple of these different tools. Not this one specifically, just because the quality isn't there. But as they begin to come out with, better quality specifically for content creation, that's definitely something we're going to do. Because as an agency, that's probably the part that we struggle the most at, is just making content. And I think that's where a lot of businesses, agencies, corporations really struggle with too, because it's really hard, in my opinion, to set aside time to make content if you're always working on your business, because you feel like, well, as soon as I stop working on my business to go make this content that doesn't necessarily pay me right now, you're kind of losing focus and you're not as motivated to make the content, or at least that's how I am. So having AI that would make the content portion for us, so we can really, focus on making our clients happy, making sure that their stores are running well and things like that, will probably be good for us. But there's new software that comes out every day. I found another software that helps us find the best selling products on Amazon. As there's a ton of them. There's a Jungle Scout, there's Helium 10, and they're rolling out with more and more every single day. But I think I'm in a couple different newsletters, and they show me like what are the top AIs used that week, and it just seems like every week they're completely different. Like, no one's using the same AI every week, so we see that it's continued to growing. One thing I did notice though is a report came out by Fox News, I think, which also take with a grain of salt. I don't really trust anything I hear on the news, so whatever. But Fox News basically said, like, the percentage of people that actually use ChatGPT and Google Bard and those type of AI resources is much, much smaller than you actually think. Like, it's a very small percentage of the population that actually use those software. So
How small are the numbers were you talking about? Like 25%, 30%?
Didn't have any percentages. It just said it's a lot smaller than you would imagine, because obviously we use ChatGPT, we use Google Bard, we use a ton of different AIs every day. I'm under the assumption that everybody knows about it, everybody uses it, because that's what I see on my timeline all the time, because I'm always looking at better prompts to put in, how to use ChatGPT better, new AIs I can use. But that's kind of like people in crypto. Like, you assume everybody's trading crypto because we know what crypto is, but majority of people have no idea what crypto is. So it seems like you are still in a very good place when it comes to being a front runner in the space when it comes to using AI. If that's something you are interested in, just make sure you're, using it and you're getting familiar with it because there's still a lot of opportunities there.
No, it's always super exciting just watching all the different technologies, seeing all the different jobs and positions that are being created from this. Everyone's talking about the jobs people are losing, but this is still creating a lot of different opportunities for advancement for a lot of different people. So I'm loving just watching the growth of AI. It's slightly. I'm just really curious to see where it's going to go and how it will unfold in the future. The Indian government's really cognizant about just the potential for automation to take over people's jobs and positions. Where they're not.
Especially in India, because that's where most people outsource all their work to anyway, when it comes to like VAs and things like that. And AI is basically a direct competitor to that industry. So it makes sense why they would kind of ban it. But have you thought, or this is what I kind of thought, I would think that the Indian government would really embrace AI and then just teach their people how to use AI so that like when people are outsourcing to India, they would be able to use AI and be more efficient actually the job that they're actually doing? Or how do you kind of think about that?
I mean, who knows if they're not already using ChatGPT and different AI within their daily work already. I mean, I have ChatGPT saved on my shortcut key. I'm sure they have ChatGPT saved on their shortcuts as well. But what the Indian government's really cognizant of is trying to keep automation from taking over a lot of fast food restaurant businesses.
Yeah.
Here in Arizona, where I live, we have driverless cars that are acting as Ubers and Lyfts. So instead of hopping like a Lyft or a Uber, I've been using Waymo, where there's no driver. They just go all night long. Like I've had a airplane flight land at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had
what cars do they use for that? Like, do you know the type of cars? You
like
can't just use any
Jaguars.
car for that, can you?
They're modified Jaguars.
Interesting. Because that would be a cool side hustle to get into if you just had to buy a Jaguar and then you could put it on their app and it runs 24 hours. Like that'd be super cool.
So they're completely modified. They have cameras all over the car from the very top. They have like little cones that literally say, your initial CF ride. So you know exactly which way was yours. One of my favorite things is they kind of stop in random places occasionally on the street.
Yeah.
So I had one Waymo holding up a traffic jam. I was just pushing honk the horn. All the cars behind me were honking their horns at this driverless car. But where I was going with that story is, India is not allowing this type of automation to overtake their country. Whereas, places like here in America, I feel like there's going to still be potential for us to create new businesses and find additional income streams using automation, as long as we're on the front end of it. As long as we're, finding ways to be innovative with it, I still think there's a lot of room for us to make money. But when it comes to a lot of other industries, there is a lot of potential for it to be able to potentially, take over some job industries.
Yeah, I know a big one that they've kind of been talking about is the trucking industry specifically, because the trucking industry is like probably like one of the largest industries in the US. So I know that it's really important for us to make sure that, people when they're leaving the industry, so like let's say they automate it, so not only cars are automated, but now there's trucks are automated. What do you do with all of those drivers? Because that's essentially just people that'll be out of work and they have a very specific skill set that isn't necessarily like able to be moved to something else. So you can't take a truck driver that gets laid off and just go be like, oh, go do cybersecurity or go do like coding for websites and stuff, because they have a very specific skill set. So I'm kind of interested to see how they do that too, because like fast food workers, you would assume that it's such like a low barrier of entry when it comes to actually skills that you can find a handful of other jobs, like manual labor jobs that pay you the same, that aren't very difficult. But when it starts going up the chain to be like computer engineers or truck drivers or maybe, I don't know, maybe like one-on-one tutors and teachers and things, it could be weird to see how exactly maybe the government steps in and kind of subsidizes that to get them into other roles or something.
I was talking to one of my friends who is in law, and we're just talking about. Have you heard about the AI platform that was going to represent someone back in court? It
Didn't
was
that
looking back in
didn't that
February.
happen? Didn't that happen? Like, didn't it actually represent them? Or oh, we lost Christian. Ooh, that's a bummer. Well, I guess it's just you and me. So yeah, there was an AI tool that was supposed to represent somebody in court. I don't know if it actually went through, but that would definitely be another place that could be overtaken just because of AI. When AI is just basically a knowledge platform, um, it could take the place of a lot of lawyers and potentially even doctors. Maybe not in surgery as of yet, but if a patient comes in with a handful of symptoms, AI would be able to basically see that and monitor it and take those symptoms versus every other symptom on the internet or that we know written down that's documented and be able to better diagnose what that patient actually needs. So there's definitely a few different industries that I'm not gonna lie, should be worried that automation would be able to take over what those people actually do, and they might need to start looking for different industries to actually go in when it comes to making money and having a career and that type of thing. But who knows? Only time will tell. But I think if you are somebody that's looking to make money online, is looking to start a new career, start a side hustle, now is definitely the time to do so. There's a ton of different AI tools out there that can help automate the process, that can help you with a business plan, coming up with a business name, helping you figure out, what business to kind of go into, and then kind of the steps to actually do that. But if you are somebody that's looking to actually make passive income, hit the Calendly link down below. It'll take you to Percy. He's our salesperson, and he'll actually get you figured out on if you're a good fit to work with the agency, if we're a good fit to work with you, and kind of what your passive income goals are. Now, we are very transparent. You will not make $1 million next month by any means, any way, shape, or form. But we do build real legit passive income at Diji Dive Agency. So if you are coming on as an agent, we are super excited to have you on. Super excited to, start your e-commerce journey. And just like that, it's kind of the podcast in the works. As you see, I'm the only one left. As Percy didn't make it, I think Christian's computer died. But this is essentially what it looks like to grow an agency. You have a lot of conversations and a lot of tough conversations. Should you be switching employees? Should you be firing? Should you be hiring? Should you be expanding? How should the process look when it comes to onboarding? What different software should you make to make sure your business is running smoothly? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into an agency. Don't get me wrong, but really excited that you joined the podcast. If you are somebody that's new to Digi Dive Agency, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time we post a video, as we have a ton of content coming out in the future, whether it be YouTube automation, lead generation, Facebook marketplace, drop shipping, Amazon FBA, or sales training. We're always looking for new side hustles. So if you are somebody also that is running any type of side hustle, whether it be through e-commerce, on the internet, or maybe you're somebody that started a software company, leave a comment in the comment section down below, as we'd love to connect, kind of learn about your business, and maybe see if we can help you, maybe see if you can help us, as that's what we're trying to do, is just spread the love, spread the joy, spread the income, because who doesn't like money? And just like that, we will see you in the next video. Peace.